Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well because today I thought it'd be really fun to hop into Create a Sim and make these two lovely siblings, Brandan Barnes and Rylee Barnes, who live in the Spice District of San Myshuno, right across from the Beta household. And truly, I love these two siblings. They have a very close family dynamic. They have been through trials and tribulations, from living in Dambele to living in Willow Creek to now living in the city, where their lives were ruined by one secret scandal in Dambele. But I don't know about you, but as of lately, since turning 30, I've been having like this reflection moment of, what do I do? How do I do it? How do I live my life? How do I be an adult or more of an adult? And how do I navigate my love of the Sims, but also my love of storytelling? And the way that I can get all of my ideas out there is literally just making Sims and talking about it. And this is what comforts me. This is what, enlightens my day every day, to just hop onto the Sims, whether it's Sims 2, 3, 4, or even 1, or any other video game that has like a storytelling, narrative, customization element to it. I live for that. And making these two siblings was not only as a spur of a moment, but I was making them for a reason, for a purpose, because I've been playing a lot of The Sims in so many different ways, and I think I've been so heavily inspired by my O'Connor family that I tend to update and share every once in a blue moon. But with all the past updates, I've been fixing that save, and it's been a roller coaster, okay? But I've been playing that household for so long, and I really love the storylines that I've created for that family, with Aspen and Winston and all the other kids in that household, and even the relatives outside of the O'Connors, that I wanted to make another household like that. I even made a household that was based on two elders who adopted a kid who was in the foster care system for so long, and then I had another current household. They were college best friends. And then I had another household that was just literally a single Sim who was a struggling artist living in Willow Creek. And I still have those households, and I want to go back to them eventually. But I think I'm also at this point where I want to make a forever save for me to play with, and I can like share with you all whenever I'm playing a particular household in like a rotational gameplay setting. And I've been watching this TV show called The Fosters. I've seen it multiple times. I'm thinking I'm on my fourth or fifth run through of that show. I've even seen Good Trouble. I love that show. From the family dynamics through the drama, the suspense, the happy moments, sad moments that show brings me. I love that. And I tend to watch TV shows and movies for multiple different reasons, whether it's the reactions from the actors, or the storyline of that episode, or like that scene, or the background music, or the background noise, or the little looks in the background that you don't particularly see all the time, that I wanted to watch them more. And I think it's like I love the Fosters, and like I love Lena and Steph's like dynamic, and how they've raised Jesus and Mariana and Jude and Callie, and AJ came along at one point, and then a bunch of other people came along. It's just like that show is so good, and I wanted to kind of do something like that, but I wanted to make it my own. So basically, these two lovely siblings, Brandan and Rylee Barnes, are living in San Myshuno, and Brandan is a 33-year-old who works in the education system in San Myshuno with his younger sister, Rylee Barnes, who works as a writer for a newspaper firm, who supposedly probably won't be working there for a long while, that she wants to eventually open up her own newspaper, or write her own books eventually, because she does have the best-selling author aspiration. And I wanted to like dive deep into that, of having a Sim who literally writes a lot of books and publishes them, whether it's self-publishing or having an actual publisher publish the books for her, and she gets like a large sum of money. I want to figure something out with that. But the twist is that Brandan and Rylee Barnes used to live in the city of Dambele, or the world of Dambele, and they lived in that one apartment that they live right across from that one household with the elder and the child, who, by the way, if you all don't know, the secret love child of Adekoya Darong. Adekoya Darong had a little secret love affair with somebody else that was not in the Darong dynasty or was a noble, had an affair. That Sim had a baby. He found out and was like, oh, no. Let's scoot this child away from the public eye, away from the Darong dynasty. It would ruin our family prestige. So he has a secret love child, which I find so funny. And the only way to find it out, at least for me, I found out through asking his granddaughter, who is a teenager, who knows about the secret love child. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? The Darong dynasty is absolutely messed up. I love Rylee Darong. I love her style. I love how she looks. And I just love how she just holds herself and how she just does things, essentially. But the whole reason why that Brandan and Rylee Barnes lived in Dambele is that they were born in Dambele. They had a family in Dambele, their mom and their dad. But things kind of went awry when their parents, supposedly, I would say, were eaten by whales. I'm going off of the reference of The Sims Medieval, eaten by whales, because that's one of the actual traits that you get from The Sims Medieval. But their parents were like adventurers. They always loved to explore, finding new things. They've been to Selva Dorada. They've been to Granite Falls. They've been to so many like excursions that they just wanted to see the open seas. And even though we don't really technically have boats like that in The Sims 4, I always put a nice little spin to the storytelling element that their parents were always on sea, always doing something new, and they were never really afraid of the consequences of their actions, even though that their family's prestige. And as of right now, the Barnes prestige level is at level 2, and they don't really have any, rivals or any people that they are aligned with. They love all people, but the people don't love them as much. Neither of them are in the noble career whatsoever, but they were once a part of it in the beginning, but decided that they didn't want to be a part of that royalty side of society. They traveled high and low to find the home that they could call their home. And so when they found out that their parents were no longer alive and were eaten by whales, they were distraught, and they had this big old giant scandal come out that wasn't really their doing. Both Brandan and Rylee had found out, mostly Rylee found out about the secret love child of Adekoya Darong, and when she found out, she confronted Adekoya, and Adekoya did not like that. And knowing that he is in the high ranks of the Darong dynasty and also supposedly somewhere higher in the nobility career, even though Rylee Darong is at level 9 of that career, she has full authority to do whatever she wants. And in a way, Adekoya manipulated his daughter to saying, hey, the Barnes household who lives in our little area shall not be a part of this area any longer. And so some way, somehow, the secret is still lingering in the background, and it kind of faded out into an existence that no one knows about the secret love child. And surely Rylee doesn't really hold a grudge or anything at all, but she has like this feeling in her heart that she doesn't want to not only hurt her brother, she doesn't want to hurt her parents' legacy. And she has so much like full respect for her brother. They weren't always seeing eye to eye as kids, but as teenagers, they realized that they needed each other more than anything. Rylee is 31 years old, and when they moved to the city, it was kind of like this moment of realization, thinking, am I in the right place to be where I'm supposed to be? And Rylee was like, yes, I need to be here with my brother. Brandan was the same way with Rylee, like, I need to be here with you. We'll stick through this to the end of time. And one little moment, and at a random time at like 2 a.m. in the morning in my game when I was playing, I realized, because I downloaded a mod by Panda Sama that basically makes it a little bit more dramatic, because I've been watching a lot of the Fosters, like, as you all know. But also, if you've ever seen Meet the Robinsons as well, that is another movie that I really deeply love that kind of ties into the whole foster care system. But recently, Panda Sama made this new mod that was in a way that complements the childbirth mod that they make, but it's a separate one. and it's called Abandoned Baby Mod, where basically when a baby is left on your doorstep, you have the choice of either turning it over to the authorities, raising it as your own, and helping them uncover their story. And when I downloaded that mod for this specific family, I knew I was going to love them even more. Rylee is so kind, so lovable. She's a family-oriented sim, and she always cares about her family. She keeps them close. No matter what happens in her life, she always wants to make sure that people are well cared for. But basically, Rylee cares so much about everyone, people who are unhoused, people who are struggling day by day. She finds it in her power to do right by people, but also do right by her parents and do right by her brother. And there was this baby that literally was on her doorstep in her apartment with her brother. She didn't know who this person was or this baby was. She thought it was a package that she had ordered from Amazon like ages ago that eventually arrived. I've also realized too that she didn't really know if she wanted to be a mother or like a parent essentially, or a foster mom or at all. But she knew in her heart deep down that this baby needed someone that would be loved and cared for and appreciated and everything. So she, of course, called the authorities to ask, saying, I want to make sure that this baby was not dropped off by mistake, or this baby must have a family somewhere. And so a couple of days later, she found out that no one was claiming this baby, and she said, I will take in this baby because I want to have this. But basically, I want to see where this kind of leads off with Rylee, and I also want to see if this helps her decide if she wants to keep her job as a writer at the newspaper firm or not, or be a freelance writer. But I do know for sure, well, she still wants to keep writing books and writing her truth and writing stories that mean something, rather than writing stories that mean nothing or just the sake of making a quick buck. She just wants to write the truth and write the things that she believes in, and she just wants to inspire other people, like she was inspired by her parents when she was young. Her mom used to write all these cool, amazing stories when she was little, and was so beloved by the pure passion that she heard from her mother's voice, but also just seeing how strong and how amazing her father was, encouraging her to be who she wants to be. And, embrace the arts, embrace your inner strength, embrace your inner self, to just do things that are not being done in real life or in your life around you. And I think she took that to heart to say, yeah, I can do this, and I will keep doing this because it's what I love and it's my truth. And with Brandan being in the education career, he loves education. He loves educating other people. And him being at level 5 of his career, he has his own little tutoring group that he tutors other kids who need extra help in school or whatever it might be. So the Barnes family is not only just a family for me to make whatever. I just think that I just want to start making families and telling stories that are real, if that makes sense. But also just the sense of longevity for me playing The Sims, if that makes sense. I don't know. But either way, nonetheless, I really love these two Sims. I really love their story. And I cannot wait to share more of the Barnes family with you on YouTube and even on Twitch, because I'll do some current household streams with you all in real time, and then also some pre-recorded stuff here on YouTube. So yeah, I hope you all really enjoyed this story, and I cannot wait to share more about their apartment that I will be building in a video that will most likely be half speed build and half real time, because that is where I'm at the moment in my life. But yeah, but with all that being said, I really hope you all enjoyed today's story and this video of Brandan and Rylee Barnes. I cannot wait to see what you all think about their apartment and explaining more about their story. But as always, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Listen to my podcast, Hello Spring, wherever you get my podcast. And I will see you all next time. Bye!